You're walking through a forest. You see some tree sap dripping down a trunk. Sticky, golden, harmless, right? Wrong. That gooey stuff is basically nature's time machine. Fast forward a few million years, and it hardens into amber, perfectly freezing anything unlucky enough to get caught. Bugs, lizards, even dinosaurs. Amber is like prehistoric flypaper that never let go. And what it trapped inside? Pure nightmare fuel. And sometimes pure comedy. Forget Jurassic Park cloning nonsense. We can't get dino DNA out of amber. But what we do get are snapshots of prehistoric life so detailed they make modern science squeal. Today, we're looking at 5 of the strangest, creepiest, and most mind-blowing creatures ever found trapped in amber. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for number 1. The tiny gecko that could stick to anything. Let's start small, literally, with a gecko that looks like it came straight off a LEGO set. This thing, officially named Yantarogecko balticus, was found in Russian amber dating back 34 to 54 million years. It's tiny. We're talking 15 millimeters, about the size of a pencil eraser, which makes sense. Bigger animals usually manage to escape tree sap. Small ones, not so lucky. Now here's where it gets wild. Even though this gecko is older than humanity's entire family tree, it already had the sticky toe pads modern geckos use to climb walls. We're talking microscopic plate-like structures that grab onto surfaces using van der Waals forces. Yes, actual physics magic. If Spider-Man were real, he'd owe royalties to this gecko. And because it lived during the early Eocene, when the Earth was basically a giant sauna, geckos weren't just in tropical zones. They were thriving way up north in what is now Russia. So picture this: a warm, green Russia, full of palm-like plants and tiny wall-climbing lizards scurrying around. Different world, same gecko attitude. How did it end? Sticky toes meet stickier tree resin. Guess even evolution's best climber couldn't handle sap. The dinosaur tail with feathers. Okay, now we're cranking things up. Imagine a piece of amber the size of your thumb. Inside it, an actual dinosaur tail with feathers. This amber, found in Myanmar and dated to about 99 million years ago, preserves a small juvenile dinosaur's tail, about 1.5 inches long. It belonged to some kind of Maniraptoran, a group related to raptors. And no, it wasn't a bird. Too many vertebrae. Too primitive. The feathers aren't for flying. They're fluffy, ornamental, and maybe for insulation or display. But here's the kicker. Some of the original pigment is still there, which means scientists could actually see the coloration. The top of the tail, chestnut brown. The underside, pale, maybe almost white. Basically, this little dinosaur was rocking a color scheme straight out of H&M's fall collection. Oh, and there may even be traces of proteins like hemoglobin in there. Don't get excited. No, we're not cloning raptors. But the fact that molecules survived nearly 100 million years is jaw-dropping. The sad part? This dinosaur either dried out before the tail got preserved or, brace yourself, it yanked too hard, lost its tail in the resin, and died trying to escape. Like a gecko that couldn't respawn. Brutal. But hey, at least it left behind the most Instagrammable fossil of all time. The flea of doom, and maybe plague. This one sounds like a rejected Jurassic Park script. Instead of dino DNA, we cloned the plague. In 2015, scientists described a fossilized flea in Dominican amber, about 20 million years old. Fossil fleas are already rare. But this one? It had something extra. When researchers looked at its rectum, yes, science sometimes requires looking at fossilized flea butts, they saw clusters of bacteria. And not just any bacteria. These clusters looked suspiciously like Yersinia pestis, the plague bacterium, the same bug that wiped out half of Europe during the Black Death. Now we can't say for certain it's plague, but it checks a lot of boxes. Right shape, right size, and even a dried droplet of bacteria stuck to the flea's mouthparts, just like in modern plague-carrying fleas. If true, this isn't the same strain that ruined medieval Europe. This would have been an ancient, extinct strain that originally infected rodents long before humans showed up. Still, just imagine if John Hammond got his hands on this. Jurassic Park? More like Pandemic Park. The baby bird, straight out of a horror story. Next up, a baby bird. Cute, right? Wrong. Because this one died a truly unfortunate death. Trapped in amber from Myanmar about 99 million years ago, this piece contains the partial body of a hatchling bird. Head, neck, foot, wing, feathers, even bristles between the scales. It belonged to the Enantiorniths, an extinct group of birds that died out with the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Now here's the wild part. This baby was just a few days old, maybe a week at most, and yet its wings were already feathered and capable of flight. Imagine human babies being born ready to skydive. That's the level of precociousness we're talking about. The fossil also froze its feather development mid-molt, giving scientists a literal timeline of how these birds grew. Some feathers were fully formed, others just starting to erupt. And the colors? Shades of brown, gray, and white. A natural camouflage. Most likely, the poor thing got stuck in resin while exploring, parts of its body exposed, scavenged, then sealed forever. The result? One of the most detailed snapshots of prehistoric bird life ever captured. Adorable, tragic, scientific goldmine. The dinosaur that wasn't Oculudentavis. Finally, the most controversial amber fossil of them all. In 2020, scientists dropped what sounded like the Holy Grail, the head of the smallest dinosaur ever, preserved in amber. It was tiny, skull less than 2 centimeters long, almost hummingbird-sized. They named it Oculudentavis. The media went nuts. Smallest dinosaur ever. Proof that evolution made mini-dinos. But then other paleontologists looked closer. The features didn't quite add up. The skull looked suspiciously lizard-like. And sure enough, after more study, it turned out Oculudentavis wasn't a bird-like dinosaur at all. It was a lizard that happened to evolve a bird-like skull through convergent evolution. Basically, evolution played dress-up and fooled everyone, twice. And the drama didn't stop there. Because the amber came from Myanmar, a region where amber mining is tied to conflict and dangerous working conditions, the fossil's publication sparked heated debates about the ethics of studying such specimens. Some argued it fuels conflict. Others said losing the fossils to jewelry making would be worse. So Oculudentavis isn't just weird scientifically, it's also a reminder that even fossils have politics. So, what do we take away from all this sticky business? Amber isn't just pretty jewelry, it's a prehistoric time capsule. It gives us geckos that already mastered wall climbing, fluffy dinosaurs showing off their feathers, fleas carrying nightmare diseases, baby birds frozen in mid-molt, and lizards pretending to be dinosaurs. It's like nature's blooper reel, preserving not just the majestic but the awkward, the tragic, and the downright bizarre. And while all these creatures lived millions of years ago, humanity still made it through. Not because we were bigger, faster, or stronger, but because we're clever enough to survive and tell their stories. Which means, in the grand scheme of things, maybe we're the strangest predators evolution ever produced. So next time you see a piece of amber in a necklace or ring, remember, it might just be holding on to a secret older, weirder, and scarier than anything you'll ever see in a horror movie.